So we're making garden mix. I've got pickling cukes in here. They're the dinky littles. There you go. So I got pickling cukes in here. I've got cauliflower. We love pickled cauliflower up here, especially hot. Carrots, put some onions in it, and I've got some jalapenos that I'm going to put in the jars individual. That way I can control how hot, because, well, I'm old now and I get heartburn. So I want to control how hot some of these jars are so that I can enjoy it. And I got some jalapenos I'm going to put in there. And I am totally, like, not organized. So I have a bag of this here dill pickle mix, Mrs. Wages. We're going to use that to make the brine for the pickles, the garden mix, whatever it's called. So this is 9 to 11 pounds of cucumbers. So we're just going to say 9 to 11 pounds of whatever vegetables I feel like using. 3.5 cups of white vinegar, 5% acidity. 7.5 cups of water, and 1 pouch of this here pickling mix. So that's all it takes to make this. I'm going to, let me see, prepare and process. I can't read, I need glasses. Actually, I got them, I just ain't got them on. Prepare and process home canning jars and lids, blah, 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 whatever, make them clean. Wash your cucumbers and drain and cut them. I like them thick in my garden mix. Combine the vinegar, the water, and this mix pack here into a large pan. Do not use aluminum. Bring mix just to a boil over medium heat. Stir constantly until mixture dissolves. And then while that's happening, meaning 2 people, or pack your cucumbers and stuff first, is pack into a sterilized jar, leaving ½ inch of headspace. And then just divide the brine over the jars. And then we'll process the pints at 10 minutes, quarts at 15 minutes. I'm going to do pints, and I'm going to use wide mouth jars so they get in and out. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. It's a water bath process. So anyhow, that's it. We're going to get these jars packed up so that we can get the brine making, so I can get these going in the water bath canner. Okay, so anyhow, I'm just going to start packing into the jar. No, you eat your food. Go away.
I can use my hand and eat.
You can. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Oh, okay, and that's why you're fired.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to be fired.
Okay, so remember, it said ½ inch headspace. So let's talk about that right fast here. So you got your jar. Where's my thingy? Right here. So this here kind of starts it out, and you're going down and around. Follow this little rimmy thing here. And maybe you're... And so anyhow, keep going. Once you get down to about the bottom of the rim thing, you're at about ½ inch. This here line makes it about 1 inch of headspace. And now when you're doing your pickles, you do want to make sure you get air bubbles and stuff out of them. So with that, I was going to pack it with the veggies, and then I'm going to add my peppers to it as I want, so I get the hot ones that I want and not the hot ones that I don't want and all that there good stuff. So for now, I'm just going to keep packing the jars just like this. Okay, so I'm doing the jalapenos now. I'm going to put some in all of them, but I'm not going to put the seeds in mine because, well, you know, like I said, I'm weak. And it helps if you got a different knife, but it's my dish night and I ain't wanting to wash a bunch. So anyhow, I'm getting these all cut up here. Now, see, these got seeds in them, especially this in here. That ain't going in mine. So I'll top them off with this here, and then we are using pickling crisp, which helps to keep the pickles crispy. Last year I used alum, did not know you had to rinse super good, so that was really disappointing because I did not rinse hardly at all. And they were god-awful tasting. like you couldn't eat them. So that's something important to know. If you're going to use alum, rinse your pickles, rinse them, and rinse them again. Because otherwise you just waste a whole entire batch of stuff because, well, gross. So we're using actual pickling crisp that I bought this past time. So I'm going to keep putting jalapenos in these jars, and then we'll get on with the show. Okay, I'm putting in the 7.5 cups of water, which is literally just me taking and measuring water. 5. Next comes the white vinegar, so we're getting ready to put that in there. 6. Okay, white vinegar, 5% acidity. It says it right here. It just ain't Mrs. Wage's vinegar because, well, I don't care about brands. So 3.5 cups of the white vinegar into the water mix. Anyhow. 1. Oh, wait a minute. Keep going, huh? 2. Oh, my bad. 3. We'll just do a smidge under half because, well, clearly I overflowed it. We'll say that's 3.5. There you go. That looks good. Yep. Okay. And next is the package. Now, this here stuff, if y'all could smell it, it smells so daggum good. Like, it's just literally yellow dill looking stuff, but it's got all the mixes and the spices and everything good that you want in your pickles. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, smells good. So anyhow, get that done. Wait a minute, what's it say? Bring mixture to a boil over medium heat, stirring constantly until it dissolves, and then remove it from the heat and get it in my jar. So we're fixing to get this on the stove. Okay, so anyhow, I'm out here on the stove on the porch because, well, I don't want to heat the house up all day long. So I've got my brine going here. I got the water bath canner back here in the back, and it's hot. So I'll have a hot pack from the brine into the hot pack of the canner, so that there's no shock or nothing to the jar. So I'm just going to keep going until this here dissolves and boils. Then we'll get this into the jars. Looks just like the pickle mix that you buy at the store. Now, normally I make homemade, but I had a pack of this, so I'll do another video later, hopefully, with me making it the homemade brine and everything with my own spices and herbs. But you know what? Not today. Not today. We just are overwhelmed and life is hard, so we're just easying it up, and I'm using what we got. Okay, so you can see I got my jars ready. This here is my extra crunch. It's pickle crisp. It's calcium chloride granules. There is no rinsing of this here stuff or anything. So follow the directions. I think it's like a quarter of a teaspoon. Use quarter teaspoon per quart and 1/8 teaspoon per pint. Well, guess what? I have decided that a quarter teaspoon, 1/8 teaspoon ain't enough. So I go quarter teaspoon for or half teaspoon per pint, quarter teaspoon per half teaspoon per quart, quarter teaspoon per pint. That's confusing. I just double what it says. How about that? That's more understandable. Now again, these are little granules. So see here, little granule looking things. So half a teaspoon, and I'm just going to put it right on top here right before I add in my juice to it. So just sprinkle it right on top like so, and that's supposed to help crisp up your veggies, keep them crisp. So anyhow, without it, especially if your cucumbers are a little bit on the big side or a couple days old, they are mushy and gross, and ain't nobody liking that. Trust me, been there, done it. So get my pickle crisp on everything, and now it's time to start adding in my brine. I'm just going to take and spoon it in. Like so. Try not to make a big old mess is all. Can y'all see me? Hold on, let me make it where you can see me. Okay, I'm just going to put into the jars here. And then I will remove air bubbles at the end of this here. Because, well, you want to do that. That way you got all your stuff submerged under the brine so that you got all that good, awesome flavor in there. So while I'm doing this, because the brine was boiling, turned it off, moved it off the heat so I could make room, because it ain't easy to not can in your own kitchen, even when you're canning on your own porch, because you got to move everything. Yeah, so anyhow, there we go. Okay, removing air bubbles. You literally just want to, if you got something that fits down in there, go ahead. But you know what? I packed these in there pretty good. So I'm going to have to do more of a squish than anything else to push the air up out of there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, so anyhow, take some time. Remove your air bubbles though, and then top it off with any brine if you've still got room. Yep. There we go. You can see some air coming up to the top of that one. There we go, there we go. Anyhow, that's what I'm going to do now to the rest of the jars, and then we'll get them popped down into the canner. I got a few that I'm going to top off with a little bit more juice. Not a lot, just a couple here. Wipe your lid, wipe your rims real good so that they get, oh, what's the word? Clean, so you can seal them. My gosh, it has been a long canning day. So I'm going to wipe the rims, use a dry or a wet cloth, it don't matter, and just wipe around the whole entire top of this. All the way where it's completely clean, no kind of food particles or anything on it, so that it ain't going to prevent it from sealing. So, there we go. Just going to wipe them all up now. Okay, now usually I only ever use regular mouths. So these here are wide mouth because, well, this is wider than a regular mouth jar. You know, whoa, what? So, anyhow, oh, looky, I got one in here for comparison. Regular mouth versus wide mouth. That's the difference in the sizes. So, anyhow, I done wiped these all up. So I'm going to put my tops on here. And then put my bands on, finger tight, just right, because otherwise you will kinkle it up, and I am notorious for that. And then sometimes it don't seem like it wants to seal, so not too tight on there. Always makes me nervous because I have heavy hands and I'm a wrencher. So put these lids on, get them all put on here, and then we'll start popping them down into the canner. Okay, as I said, I had the canner going. You can tell that it's hot here. So, what we're going to do, put these jars down in here. Now, right now I'm just picking them up by hand because, well, it ain't too terribly deep yet. It will be in just a minute, so we'll use the jar lifter. My jar lifter is not outside. Hold on. Okay, this is the jar lifter. This is the part that grips the jars. It's kind of round shape. It goes up underneath the lip of it. This here part is your handle. It's plastic, it's rolly, it's not grippy. This is not the part you use to lift your jars. You use that as your handle, like so. So, let's put the next jar in. Just reach down, pick it up, put it in, right down into the water. Now, this canner holds 7 jars. And when I'm done, the water needs to be off to the top of all of the lids. And then when it starts its full rolling boil, it's a 10-minute with the quarts. I mean 15-minute with the quarts, 10-minute with the pints. So if I want, I can open it up and pop the pints out. But you know what, it really don't matter. You know, there you are, they're all in there. Water's over top everything real good. So put the lid back on. The time don't start until the canner is a rolling boil. Okay, it was boiling good, but I opened it up and all that there good stuff. So anyhow, I'm just gonna reach in here and take the jar out, just like so. Pick it up, take it out. I do give them a little tip, take the water off the top. Not necessarily, but it's just something I do. So anyhow, do that. I'll get them all out, and then I'll set them out to cool, and I'll show you how I go about doing that. Okay, and right here is how I set the jars where there's space in between them, so they got even cooling and all that there kind of stuff. And then next thing I need to do is just wait and hear a seal. So that is some Hot Garden Mix water bath canned, and it felt like it took forever.